Hello, this is also welcome back to our play by email version of Jochenheiden. Now, this is going to be the kind of state of the game, which is January 1st, 1942. So we're heading into 1942. I'm going to slowly go over how everything that's happened in January and our future strategic and objectives for the month of January. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go over the intelligence screens here. So we have about 508 political points. We've got about, let's see, 5 days before we can buy out the Imperial Guards battalion out of Tokyo. Not it's the Guards Mix battalion, but it's the Imperial Guards. It creates a Imperial Guards unit, First Guards Division. Those will be used on Attic Island. Now, that operation won't actually commence until we get to Shoho, which is in 25 days. So that's going to be like beginning of February when we'll be proceeding into the Aleutians. So, but we will have those points. I think I might go ahead and buy it out right now, just so I don't forget it and I make sure I have the points available there. If you look at the score, we're about 800 points down. That's not bad. Pretty good. I will accept that. Scoring, obviously he's got a lot more points on the allied bases. We'll probably get a pretty decent amount of those when we start capturing stuff in China, Burma, / in the DEI. Aircraft points, 215 and 152. This should be a lot higher. We've got almost no British aircraft from Malaya, and we got almost no Dutch aircraft from the DEI, which is pretty, honestly, considering this is pretty decent, I consider. It's like we have had even less operational losses than him, which is really great for the Japanese. So I've done pretty decent. I could do a lot better. I've lost a lot of scout aircraft, so I really just got to get them back up. I'm going to keep pushing up their rest rate just to keep them where they keep losing op losses on those guys. Army losses look great. 2,366. It's always going to be this way, but we've only managed to lose 14. That's great. Ship sunk 127 to 12. I'll take that all day. Honestly, this is pretty decent for the month of January. Our aircraft losses, like I said, our ops losses is what bothers me the most. We've lost 12 Babs, 10 and 10. And we pushed our bombers heavy, so this doesn't surprise me at all. We've started giving them rest here in the last week of December, and let them kind of do some maintenance and repairs. We'll probably try to get some spares into them, but that looks pretty good. I'll take that all day. These lost even more, like Hudsons and Wildcats. We lost a decent amount of zeros, mainly from long range cap, but we'll take it. Air to air is actually pretty bad. We've shot down 40 of the AVG in the air and 19 Buffaloes, but we did lose 15 Oscars. We've lost 11 Bettys. I don't remember where we lost these. I think that was early in the war that I had mistaken and left them on airfield secondary by accident. We lost 10 zeros. We managed to actually shoot down 10 B-17s, which isn't bad considering what planes we have. So we'll take that all day. Ground, this was the infamous first strike on the AVG 19. These are from aircraft or aircraft sank or ship sank aircraft going down with their ships. Same with the Walrus, I think, is an aircraft going down with a ship. And then, yeah, we'll take that. We haven't lost a lot to flak. That's not too bad, honestly. 5, 6, 7. Losing these 2 to flak and at 20K is kind of exam. So yeah, so we haven't lost a whole bunch of flak, so this is not bad for us, honestly. But in total, he's lost 72 to the AVG. This would gut his AVG H81. He only gets a certain amount, so he's going to have to start replacing those with other airframes, which is great. He hasn't lost a lot of Buffaloes, honestly. Most of them probably fled to the DEI or are already in Burma and farther back. So I don't expect to get a lot of Buffaloes this game. Usually get them really early, then we'll start switching them out to other aircraft. We've lost 26 Bettys. Sucks. But we're trying to up our production and trying to be careful with these guys. We lost 25 zeros, which also suck. We lost 25 Oscar Bs. These we won't build and get any replacements. We're actually working on those for Oscar Cs. He's lost a lot of Hudsons. He's lost a decent amount of Wildcats. That he doesn't get a lot of these. I'm kind of happy. I'm upset with how many Babs we lost. We need to replace these. He's lost 12 B-17. We'll take that. He's lost 9 of the Catalina 5s. He's lost 6 Catalina 4s. We've lost 5 Mavises. 1 air to air and 4 ops. So that's not too bad. Those are easily replaced. So all in all, not too bad, the air war. And I'd say it's slightly in our favor, but it should be in the beginning of the war. Usually it's a lot in our favor. He definitely learned from the Yoakum game and did not feed me aircraft like he did Yoakum. Aircraft replacement pool, looking pretty decent, honestly. We got a lot of Nels. We're not even building these. We got 76, we got plenty of those. We both on 50 Vals and Kates. I like to keep at least 40 in the pool for a bad engagement where we can place it. We're filling in some training squadrons with Vals. We'll probably put another 12 in somewhere. Kates, we'll see if we have any B5N1 Kates that we can upgrade. Sally C's, we got a decent reserve. Sally 2's, we got a decent reserve. We've essentially upgraded in Unit 2 of these, so we'll upgrade another one of these. Zeros are up to 27, which means I can probably upgrade another Cloud unit to these here shortly. And 21 Clouds that are going filtering into training units. We have 16 Oscar C's. This isn't bad. We just replaced like a unit of 41 or 40. I think it was a 42 size unit with Oscar C's. We don't have pilots for them, but we're going to start getting the Oscar C's into the front 9 units, which is slight increase on the Oscar B. Decent on all the rest of them, basically. Kate's or Jake's are a little low. We're slowly replacing all our aircraft on our cruisers and our battleships with these guys, so that's good. Betty's is like I said, there's our biggest thing. We're slowly building them up, but we've been using a lot of replacements, and yeah, so I need to get Betty's built back up. This is the biggest on aircraft replacements. Pilots, pool looks decent, so not too bad. Hopefully we can get them better. Top pilots, we lost 53 killed, 11 wounded, 9 MI. That's very sustainable. We don't have any aces because, well, we haven't been fighting any really, and we got quite a few MIAs that actually have kills, so 4 of them. Hopefully some of those guys find their way back. Ships up. All right, so let's sort by Japanese ships. Biggest one was that AP, large AP that took one of the 20-inch Mark 10s. 1 torpedo on the client. That sucked. These would be the ships that were probably sank by. This one was near Sinkawang by a Mark 6 gun. Not sure. Oh, that was a coastal defense gun. Yeah, so we lost this guy to a coastal defense gun. These 2 patrol bolts were killed on Moritai, and these 2 AKs were killed on Moritai. These are the ones that were sank by Houston and that. Near Loag, another Mark 10. So all in all, I mean, this is good. We lost a DMS near Singapore to a mine. We lost an APD to Houston, and we'll take that all day. Now, Allied ships, decent. Only one I know that's not confirmed is Dominion Monarch. She starts off damaged, and we did put a torpedo in her, but I feel like she can take more than 1 torpedo. So I feel like she might have got away and limped out. She withdraws anyway, so, and we did enough damage to her where you won't get any use out of her. We did get Boise, we did get Houston, we got the Meritus, we got Dragon. We got several large tankers. We'll take that. Let's get rid of all of these. We're just going to go to combat ships, which we did not get a lot of, honestly. So you figure we got 3 light cruisers and a heavy cruiser. That's it. Everything else he managed to pull back. We did put a hurt on his subfleet, obviously. We did get Jupiter, Mugfort. So we got what, 5 destroyers. So we got 3 light cruisers, or 5 destroyers, 3 light cruisers, and 1 heavy cruiser in January. We lost, an APD and a DMS, so not the worst. We got 4 of the small S-bolts Mark 10. That's helped quite a bit. We're claiming 1 Dutch sub, maybe anything that says Type 95, I don't buy. But we got all the U.S. subs at Manila, which was our main goal at the start. So we put a hurting on the sub forces, and we haven't lost a lot of ships to subs. I mean, we lost 2 to the Mark 10s. Think if we hadn't taken out these other 4, you know, how many we could have lost, ships we could have lost. So not all in all, we'll take ship losses. We're doing good there. Ground, obviously doing really great. Not withdrawal. We're waiting on a few of important things here. So in 11 days, the 5th Amphibious Brigade will get. When we get those, that's when our proceed to start our invasion of Mindanao. 5th Guards Regiment engineers, we're waiting on them. I don't think we get them for like 2 months almost before we can actually rebuild the 5th Guards unit. It's another one, 14 days. Get some reinforcements in China in next month. Here's the first big one at 45 days. I'm not honestly sure what we're going to do with those units. We're going to work on buying out units from China as they get damaged, and then rebuild them for Manila and that. And honestly, we'll attack Manila, Band Egg, and probably Lashiel in that order. With whatever forces we buy out, rebuild to destroy the encircled troops that will get there. And then aircraft engine pool. Of note, we're at 204 Hot 35s. We need to build this up for the engine bonus. So we're working on that. All in all, it's like I said, this is a pretty decent intelligence. We'll take that all day. Go over industry real quick here. So, decent amount of refinery and oil damage. We probably won't repair the refinery. We'll just keep the oil and then try that. Armaments are holding firm. We haven't expanded that at all. Vehicles are starting to get up there. I'll probably go ahead and get this up the extra 21. Just get it at even 300, and we'll be happy with that. Engines. So we got 5 days before hot. 6 days before Hot 43s start going into super research mode, which is nice, and 5 days. So 6 days. So like January 7th is our engine research will be in full force. As you can tell, we're gonna get these guys Hot 35s. Probably we will get this maxed out for what our needs are. I think we already have. I hope. But we need to build up these a little bit more to get that engine bonus. Air. I am building clouds a month. I don't know why it was that so much. I think I just switched like an old factory to this. So we are going to build up clouds until we run out of engines. Just for training aircraft. Zeros, we're up to over 100 a month already. And then we're going to get up to about 160. That should be good for zeros. Kates, we're going to be about 32. I'll probably expand that a little bit more. I'm not sure. If they're holding fine, we might leave them at the 32, 34-ish range and just leave them like that. Jakes are 54. Those will be good. Like I said, we have a lot of training units we need to upgrade. Glens are staying on. Nels are turned off. Betty's are at 25. We're going to leave that for now. Eventually, those will get switched out for their aircraft. I'm going to try to struggle with it. Until then, Sally C's, we're not building any. We're just going to use what we have in the pool. Sally 2s, we're building 40 a month. Those will switch out for Helens, but I would like to get as many of the older aircraft like Lilies and that chain upgraded to Sally 2s. Oscars, again, we're over 100. Get up to about 150. We're happy with that. Dinas, we're just building 11. Replace those, building no Lilies, no Sonias, no Tanias. We are building some Tinas and getting those up. So, R&D. R&D was okay-ish. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 that are a third of the way there. Now we only get 3 more months to do this. Now they should go quicker now that we are now only 3 more months away until these go into production. But I am kind of worried that we have so many 5s and 6s. So we need to get these up to repaired in producing research before April. Same front. You know what? We got one, two, three, four. That's not bad considering it's a 645 in 3 weeks. Not bad at all. I'll take that. Jill again, not bad for 343 aircraft. Grace got one. We got one of those both 44 aircraft. Judy's got some. You know, I mean, think about it. This is a 3. We have some 5s that we get in 4 months, and this is literally over a year. Was over a year away. We got almost as many rolls, good rolls on those. So that's not bad on that end. The other end's bad. Oscar's decent. Could wish we could get a little bit more quicker here again. 4-4 for aircraft in 842. This is in 43, almost the same. Tojo's a couple 5s, 4s again, 6. Nothing on the Knicks. Hopefully we'll get those. And I could really use a double engine fighter for defense against some B-17s. Helens, I wish we had some of these a lot better. This one I think started off at 20 and we got one. So Frank's actually pretty decent. Like this guy's just nailing it here. So we got a 4 and a 40 and 44 aircraft. I like that. That's very good. George's a couple 3s, nothing big there. So all in all, could be better, and I think most of it's just nerves because I really need to get these factories repaired as quick as possible. We are expanded to 1,500 on the Navy system. We didn't expand anything on merchant yards. I don't really care, honestly. Repair yards, we did expand some repair yards. We expanded basically Saigon. We expanded that up to 20. That way you can handle heavy cruisers. And our only, really our, until recent battles, this is our only thing that combat ship that really took a lot of damage in 22 days that will be repaired. Obviously, we got the destroyer that took damage from Houston and that, but honestly, not too bad. We got some subs that took some damage, but we can live with those. I think the other repair yard is going to be Hong Kong, which we're not going to repair. Yep, 23 there. We're not going to repair that. So it's just too easy for him to bomb from bases in China. So, all right. So that's going to be pretty much where we're at industry-wise, where I'm kind of happy with. Now we're going to get into operations. All right. So we got forces coming out of. Let's actually start over here. We'll do our normal kind of rotate around. So we are slowly pulling ships out of here as they get damaged. He's starting, I haven't seen a lot, and they haven't done anything in many turns. It's like probably gonna pull this guy into like this hex or this hex just to get him away because he's a station over here now, which is where he needs to. I'm hoping maybe if I can do here, they can do a reaction. We'll just have to see. We don't have much on the way on Hawaii Islands. This guy kind of pulled out. We're gonna kind of pull him back down here, see if we can get lucky, see if he's going through here again. I'm going to move some subs around Tahiti area, Bora Bora. This is skis over here because we moved them here originally when we got lucky with the shot at the Lexington, thinking that they might have went this way. So now we're just going to move a little farther up around bases that he might be pulling into. The biggest one is he has a lot of activity going on right in here. So my guess is, since it's so far away from the other ones, he's got ASW patrol. He's turned in Vavavu. Whatever hell, Babau into a base. So we're going to kind of put around here to see what we get. Our operations to take Baker and Canton are underway. We are moving the Kiripi Tide to cover those forces / do a raid down towards Penryn Island into his transport lanes and see if we can get lucky. We need to hold off one more turn on spotting like that. I might just go ahead and do the full speed run just to see if we can get in there before he can get everything out of the way. Nothing's been going into New Zealand. Nothing's been going into Australia, at least that our subs have seen. Slowly jumping up the islands up here. Once we take Canton and Baker, do our raid, we're going to come back to truck with the Kiripi Tide. We're going to do repairs. We'll do rest up the air squadrons, fill up new aircraft, refuel, and all that, and then we proceed to Port Moresby. And then after New Portsmouth, we'll probably take New Caledonia. Port Moresby probably would be the end of January. I hope we can do it a little bit faster, but it's going to take about a week to take care of Canton, and then probably another week to get back the truck, and then a week for repairs / whatever we need to do, and then a week to get down to Port Moresby. So I'm thinking it's going to take us almost to January to get Port Moresby. Slowly moving other forces in. We do have a bunch of engineers in Rabaul now. We have more engineers on the way. We have the air fleet that's going to go into Taosia, which will be our linchpin of our defense of New Britain. So we'll start building up the airfields here, and then once we do that, we'll start jumping down and moving forward. DI, we want this taken care of by the end of January. All right, we got a great start on Java. We will not be able to take Bandenang. It's just not going to happen. He's going to have probably about 750 Dutch troops there. I don't want to tie that many troops down to take it, especially of my frontline free troops right now. So what we'll do is we'll take the rest of it. We'll just encircle him here, make sure that he can't move out, and just start working on the supplies. Same as we're kind of doing with Clark. We got some forces loading up now to land on other places in Sumatra and start cleaning up Sumatra. We have forces landing up to take the north of Sarawak and North Borneo. We have forces working on the rest of these little bases to take these guys. I don't want to take Tarakan and Balakan and Miri in the oil bases until we take care of Soybeha and his bases that he can fly B-17s out of. I just don't have enough aircraft that I can split up and put fighters on every oil base right now. We will land forces in Samarinda. We will land forces in Trandashar here, Salor. Those forces will just do the shock across the river and take Tarakan and Balakan that way instead of having to deal with the coastal defense guns to lose AKs or damage battleships. We have forces loading up in Battlebob to take Makassar, Kendari, Ambon, and Kopang. And then once we take those bases, those are the major bases that he has that's going to have troops in them. We would then proceed to just take all the bases and top bases like we do on the other ones, especially Babo and Bola. They both have produced oil that we will ship back to Battlebob. That, like I said, this we want to take. This is going to see a lot of action from my end. I don't know if we'll be a lot of fighting, but it'll take a lot of action in the next month, taking all this and knocking it out of the way so we can free up troops and just get it done with. Mindanao will be landing on in the next 2 weeks. We'll start taking all of this stuff and getting our garrison set up for those. We do have the garrison from Manila on the way. We'll land at Batanagas here, and then we'll just march into Manila, and then I'll try to drop like a small unit off that will just follow the train route around and start taking out the rest of Luzon here. Cebu, Panay, Leti, and Samar here. Those will free up troops as we go from Mindanao. Probably the 5th Amphibious Brigade will just launch and start taking all these guys. Malaya should be cleaned up by the rest of January. We have troops just taking out the rest of these troops. Get those taken care of. That'd be great. We were on the way, already marching on Pegu to cut off the Burma Road. Cut off any more supply going into China. That is good. So it looks like he's pulled back all the way to Lashio. So we will continue to build up our airfields, and then we will continue to strike at Lashio and try to keep him from building as many forts there, because that's going to be where he goes from next. So we will reinforce the Burma troops here shortly with some 5th Division, probably 22nd Troop, a couple of other divisions, and then we're going to start taking these guys and getting some engineers in here. AA, and to start building up these airfields for the push against the Impal line if we want to do it, or just for future defense. China's looking decent. We're going to here shortly. We'll probably be doing the siege of Wenchao. Kukong looks like it's undefended. He has pulled back troops to here. We aren't pushing on the south at all, really. We're just going to until we free up some troops, honestly. So we're just basically going to siege these guys, clean up these three guys, and then that will be everything behind the lines that we have to worry about. In those couple days when we get those free extra divisions, we'll probably break those guys free and then maybe start probing like here, like, you know, the south, to see like the south underbelly here and cause them to, again, to try to pull troops out of Changsha and the east here. The north is going well. So he did leave Ankang open, so we are pushing really strong here. We got long range cap over this. This is our major thrust. We're slowly eating these guys and moving these guys up, trying to do as much damage to these guys as we can. We especially would like to catch some of these guys in these clear terrain before he pulls into the mountains and the wooded rough here. Same here. Trying to push these guys, get these guys over to the clear terrain as fast as possible to cut off these guys, and do as much damage in the clear terrain. Yeah, so that's our progress is here. It's like our goal is to capture Ankang Sion and land, cut off the fuel flow to Chongqing. So that would be Burma Road Plus and Chongqing not producing a supply. We want to starve them out as quick as possible. We would likely like to get here before he does, but there's just no way we're going to do it. So ideally, we can just do this, and then we can kind of cut off and just encircle him from both ways. We'll have to see if we can actually do that. He's still got a lot of AV left, and this is very good terrain. It's all wooded rough or mountain, which is all times 3 terrain in here. But we'll have to see what we can do to get him cut off, and to either get him to pull out more forces from Chongqing and more forces from the south north for our eventual counterattack this way. So we will launch attack out of Indochina. That's probably going to be around May and June, is before I can get new forces and get enough AV that can actually push this way and up. So to start, trying to cut off the Chongqing and surround and cut these forces off in the south eventually. We'll probably free up enough forces when we do this to do an attack on Icheng and do a northern attack. Same thing we're kind of doing here, a pincer attack, right? So we'll do one here and then one here to cut off all these forces and surround them. And if I can get big groups, I don't plan on destroying them. I plan on just surrounding them, leave enough forces there to pin them where they can't move out, and then move on, because until we take Chengtu and Chengqing, those forces just come back. I don't want to have to deal with it again. Which, this requires me to buy out extra forces from China as we get them, and then, lots of political points needed. So that's basically where we're at. I'm happy with the state of the game. It's gone really good. I wish we could have gotten more points and damage into him, but he did a pretty well job at retreating and pulling his forces back. And the one time that he stuck his nose out with Houston, we did manage to catch up and make him pay for it. But it kind of sucks because we haven't got a lot of the cushion or bonus points that we got to get. I was more interested in capturing land quickly as possible than I was in trying to, chase down task force down here and burning a lot of fuel for that. I was much more interested in getting the Java and getting Palembang and all that captured right away, and so I can start capturing all this stuff and backfilling. Because I really want to capture all this and free up forces, because I do not know where we're going to go. I do know we have the Aleutians, we have Port Moresby and New Caledonia, and the New Hebrides. We want to take these, and that will be our kind of defensive line on the Pacific side. I do not know if I'm going to try to push into Australia, and I don't know if I'm going to try to push into India. I feel like he expects me to go for India at this point. And I'm basing this basically because I've seen no shipping going into Australia. Now, he could be like this building, like we've seen a lot around here. Maybe he's just concentrating on building this up. But we haven't seen any really reinforcements going into Australia. And unfortunately, I don't have enough subs. We're starting to get them off the coast here, so I don't know what he's been maybe sending into, other than, the forces from Aden into India. We got to find, where the Americans are going, where he's sending the Americans. So, I do think India is the easier to supply and kind of easier to defend on the outside, but the problem is requires a lot of forces for garrisons that suck up a lot of my troops that have to buy more and reinforce. But it is a decent amount of points. But the more important, it's the industry from that you can get out of India that helps, right? They can funnel it back. Australia is, not as much. You're not going to be feeding. I'm not going to be sending oil down to feed the Australian industry. So this is more for straight up going for an auto victory. I feel it is a lot easier to conquer than I think India. because almost every major town is on the coast, which means your Navy can bombard it and everything, help with that. And there's not as much garrison requirements, and it's a lot more. It's easier to isolate than India. Like, he has to ship everything in because it's a damn island. So, and it's easy to isolate. We're gonna have to see how things go in January and February. I'll probably make a decision on where we're gonna go by the end of February, or because you'll start seeing me move stuff into position in February, because I like to land by mid-March on either India or Australia if we're going to do those, because that gives me 2 weeks of amphibious bonus to play with. That's my goal. So that's where we are, guys. Sorry that this video is going to be pretty long for me, 30 minutes. Try to keep one short because nobody wants to listen to me ramble on for an hour. So hopefully we'll get a few more turns going a little bit quicker. I feel like one turn a week. It's been just way too slow. But I also hope they have the Dean game back up and running now that I am moved. I'll have some time over the holidays to finish up the first turn, and we can get it going back again. So that's my plans for the next month of basically both Januaries, I guess. I'll catch you all later, guys.